Welcome. My name is Colonel Russ Barnes. I'm retired Air Force, 27 years on active duty, started out as a B-52 Raider navigator, and I've always had aspirations to be an entrepreneur. When I retired from the military after 27 years, I realized that I didn't have a network that would enable me to achieve my goals. So I set out and became the Uber networker. I joined Free Networking International, Business Networking International, Toastmasters, National Speakers Association. Everywhere where I could network with people, I was there. And I learned some great lessons. As a result of those experiences, there are three key important questions that you need to think about before you ever go out to network, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Some of you have a serious challenge with networking. It scares the lights out of you, you don't know how to do it, it doesn't help you, but everyone tells you that it's incredibly important to network. And in fact, it is. What we're going to talk about today is how you can network to achieve your goals. We're going to frame the conversation around three key questions. These questions help you think about how you approach networking. In a sense, a networking strategy. We have business strategy, we have marketing strategy, we have social media strategy, but when we go network, typically we look on a calendar or we'll search on the internet and we'll find an event and we'll steel ourselves to go out and attend this event, and by golly, we're going to meet somebody when we get there. And once we do that, meet that person, magic will happen. And unfortunately, it never actually happens that way. So we're going to talk about three key questions that are critical and important for you to be able to answer before you begin to network. The first key question is, what do you want to do? There is nothing more important than answering this question, because when you go to a networking event, the first question you get is, what do you do? The first question you ask someone is, what do you do? And if you cannot answer that question clearly, concisely, and in a way that's compelling and generates an image in someone's mind, it will be impossible for them to be able to help you. It's the first key question. What do you want to do? The second key question is, who needs what you want to do? In so many instances, we hear people say, well, everyone needs my product. I do skincare. Everyone has skin. Everyone needs my product. Well, you in fact know that's not true, because you may have certain situations with your skin that would not make that product the type of product that you would want to use. So not everybody wants to use your product. You have to be very specific about identifying the type of people who would like to use your product. So who needs what you want to do? That is the second key question. The third key question, the most important key question, is then, how do you connect with people who are doing what you want to do? And this is the essence of networking. Connecting, building relationships. This is why you go out to network, and we're going to get in a little more detail about that. Let's go back to key question number one. What do you want to do? There are two aspects to this question. One is, are you leaving one industry, going into another industry? Are you just looking to get a job, perhaps in the current industry in which you're involved? There's something very important you need to understand. There's a huge difference between transition and transformation. If you're a nurse and you're in the medical community and you're looking to go and find a job in another hospital, it's fairly easy. You speak the language. You probably know people who are working in that facility. You have credibility. You have everything you need to prove and demonstrate that you can fill that responsibility, do that job, and impact the bottom line. However, if you happen to be a nurse and you want to go into information technology, well, this is something quite different. It may be that in your duties as a nurse, you had a very significant responsibility on the side to do information technology, and that's how you found out that you love it. And that's what you want to do for the rest of your life. Well, when you're transitioning from that medical community into the information technology community, unfortunately, it doesn't matter how much experience you've had. They want to be able to prove, they want you to prove that you can come in and do a good job. So this is a little bit more of a challenge. If you think you're in a transition from one career field to another career field when you're actually in a transformation, you're going to have a real problem with patience. You'll be frustrated because you will be expecting things to happen a lot more quickly. You won't understand why people aren't listening to you. And you will certainly struggle as you try to get a foothold in your new community. But being able to talk about what you want to do. When you say, I spent so many years as a nurse, I got involved in information technology as a result of work that I was doing. I found out that I just had this incredible passion for information technology. How can I get into that career field? And here's a tip for you. If you want advice, ask for help. If you want help, ask for advice. So as you ask people for advice, you will find that they will give you a significant amount of help to help you make that transition into the new career. But since you realize you're in a transformation, you need to take a look at, what do I know? What do I need to know? How do I acquire that information? And how do I begin to build the connections with the people who can help me? So be very clear about what you want to do. When you go to a networking event, talk to people. In the beginning, you may see that their eyes glaze over, they don't understand what you're talking about, but eventually it's going to click. And someone's going to say, wow, I get it. I understand what you do. I know the perfect person you need to meet. And that will be a great day. Second question, who needs what you want to do? The key here is do your homework. What I recommend typically for this is to find 3 or 4 companies that you would like to work for if you're looking for another job. If you're going into business, look for 2 or 3 communities, markets, people who are interested in buying what you have, and identify where they are, and then you begin to talk specifically to people in that community. Marketing, networking works as a marketing tool effectively when people are talking to each other. Word of mouth marketing is the best way to market, but it only works if you're talking to people who talk to each other. If you do a great job for one person and that's the only person that is in that you know, there's no chance that they'll talk to someone else and tell someone else. But if you talk to someone who's part of a specific group, they'll say, oh, you need this, you need that. I know exactly the person who can help you with that. So you want to do your research. You want to find out which companies need what you do, are looking for someone who does what you do. Or you're looking for that community of people who need what you do. And once you identify that community, once you identify that company, then you need to spend most of your time researching and learning as much as you possibly can about their challenges, their problems, and to be able to identify how your skills, talents, and abilities can be a solution for the problems and the challenges that they have. The third and final key question that we're going to talk about here is, how do you connect with people who are doing what you want to do? There are 2 aspects to this. There's the art and there's the science. The science of it is something that we've already talked about. How do you identify the networking groups? This is something that you can go online, you can do research, you can identify the locations, you can find out where they hang out, you can connect on LinkedIn, you can connect on various other Chamber of Commerce. There are so many different ways that you can actually find those groups that you're interested in connecting with. The art comes in when you have to begin to connect and you need to begin to speak with people. And the most important thing that you can do when it comes to the art of networking is be authentic. Be you. Just be yourself. As you're being yourself, there are certain people who really won't like you. So I have to be upfront about that. But guess what? If they don't like you, they're not the customer for you. They're not the community in which you need to belong, in which you would like to join. On the other side, and the wonderful part of it all, is there will be some people who will love you. Whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you provide, it just makes a great match. You connect, you feel great, your confidence is up. Those are the people that you're looking for. So be authentic. Don't be afraid of being authentic. And I have another little secret for you. If you're authentic and you're genuine, the number of people who don't like you is going to be very, very, very small, if at all. So be authentic. These are the three most key and critical questions that you need to answer before you even begin to go to your first networking event.